Hello, 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 and welcome to the show. It's Wrestling with Entertainment, bringing you the latest exclusive breaking news, previewing and reviewing the latest shows from WWE, AEW, New Japan, and everything in between every Saturday, and interviewing all your favorite wrestlers every Wednesday on YouTube and Castbox, sponsored by Rogue Energy and Player One Coffee. I am, of course, your host, that guy, James J, alongside the leader of Squash Squad, Kaliko Yachts.
Man, I had to bring out my jacket because it's the winds of change are just cold out here.
And the American Scooter Dust.
I have so many attachments. I think I might be a PDF file.
And it was a great week for Wrestling Wit, as last week on the show we interviewed Brittany Brooks. Incredible interview with somebody that's on the sidelines right now, but I mean, the sky's the limit, and the potential is unlimited when it comes to Brittany. And when she gets back in the ring next year, it's gonna be a sight to see for sure. No, Scooter.
Oh, absolutely, beyond any shadow of a doubt.
And next week on the show, we don't know, but when we know, you will know for sure. Keep on our Twitter page at Wrestling with E for information when we actually know who we're interviewing. Fuck summer. It was a great day for wrestling? Question mark. Vince McMahon retired, or was it Mordor?
Dun dun dun.
What now? Anybody that wants the answer?
Is this like the Who Shot JR moment?
Jordan,
This
we
is
as
more
your
the
host.
Who Shot Mr. Martin. This is more like Who Shot Mr. Burns.
Are we just going to overlook Johnny Bravo?
He's so pretty.
And
Not
he
that
wouldn't make
Johnny
it in
Bravo is pretty.
2022. Johnny Bravo wouldn't make it now. They would think he was a full-on predator.
We're
But
talking
anyways,
about the guys from Impact Wrestling, not the cartoon character.
Untouchable
oh
monkey.
well, sorry, I'm in Comic Con mode. I'm all over the place.
Yeah, you're full on Nordum over there in San Diego. No,
I know. I'm trying to debate whether I want to put this Black Panther costume on in 100-degree weather.
don't do it. Don't be a hero. Just put the necklace on.
I mean,
I'll die. I'll die a hero.
I, I mean, you could be, you could be, you could say you could dress up like a 1960s Black Panther and be like, wait, they're not the same thing?
That is true. Be like Black Panther, Huey, Newt. You're like, we're both the same.
Wakanda
Yeah.
forever.
I mean,
Wakanda forever.
I did see show enough today, so that made my day.
In all seriousness, Vince McMahon retiring. Your thoughts, Scooter?
You know, for years and years and years, we have talked about what this is the biggest what if in not just the WWE, but holy shit. And we'll get into the breaking news. Well, maybe not breaking, but this is the biggest what if, not just WWE, but in pro wrestling. When will the Messiah and Pariah of professional wrestling, Vince McMahon, decide to hang it up?
And I never thought he
And
would.
not many people, not many people thought that he actually would either. Everybody thought, it would take death to stop Vince McMahon.
Right.
But the question is Vince really gone? Or is he still playing puppet master, so to speak?
And that was going to be something I brought up later on. But what say you, Kaliko?
Well, I'll answer the first part, the latter part. I think he's gone because the problem, the issue is that so many dominoes fell as soon as he said it, right? So he retires. Stephanie takes over. Khan's co-CEO. They're both co-CEOs. The first thing that happens is Triple H is back all of a sudden, and then Laurinaitis is out. So to me, he has to be gone because that's the power play, right? And I feel like it's been an episode of Empire where the new school has been trying to take over, and the old school is like, yeah, nah, I still got this shit. And this is just something where he can't come back from. And we talked about it earlier. You were like, this could be a ploy. And if it was like somebody outside of WWE that he did that to, I could totally see that point. But the fact that the person worked for WWE is the part where it's the ethic, right? It's the ethic part. Um, to the wrestling fan, to me, this feels like the day LeBron James leaves the NBA, right? Because the IWC has literally made this guy their foil for the longest, right? He's so PG, and they just were relishing for the day that he's gone, right? He's gone. So now anything that happens after this, good, bad, or indifferent, you can't go, well, it's Vince's fault, right? Because he's gone. So now you can't put that scapegoat on him. He will no longer be the scapegoat that you look for. So it's a double-edged sword because if it goes good, they're going to be like, see, Vince leaves, finally the product's better. Or if the product goes worse, they're going to be like, well, maybe he knew he was talking about. So this is that ultimate Bone Thugs and Harmony crossroads moment. if, for
And he's
lack
going
of
to
a
miss
better,
everybody.
and he's gonna miss everybody. He's gonna miss everybody, especially the girls he used to bang, especially them divas he used to bang. He's gonna miss everybody.
That, that being said, do you think the product's gonna get better with Vince McMahon not at the helm? Or is this a wait and see type scenario, Scudo?
Well, it's most likely a wait and see type scenario. I mean, we can. The expectation for everything to get better is going. It's going to be very high.
But is it so
Uh,
high that it's unrealistic? Partly yes.
that's the other thing. I mean, honestly, I think we've been seeing changes already. Uh, Given they went to TV 14.
Starting at SummerSlam.
Um, this this is potentially the start of a literal new era.
It is. Without a doubt. What about you, Kaliko? You think that the product is gonna get better or worse?
Well, when all this happened and Triple H came back, effective immediately, the first thing I thought about was what about NXT? Because
Shawn Michaels is gonna be in
they
it.
Well, he's there, but the point that I was making was that they did so much overhauling when Triple H was gone that now it's a shell of itself. And I don't see personally that much change on the main roster side here and there, but I expect a big overhaul for you NXT, a reversion back to the original
Going back to
because
rock and roll.
you want it, and the reason being is because NXT was. I always looked at WWE like the Jack in the Box of wrestling when they had all these brands because it's like if you wanted the the 80s style character driven uh hokey-ish Raw. If you wanted a mixture of both, SmackDown. If you wanted all the wrestling, NXT. So to me, it balanced each other out, right? All three
Right.
balanced each other out.
If you only partook in WWE content.
Right. Because it was just a big umbrella and you just had your choice of whatever you wanted, right? But when they tried to make everything one, that's where it messes up. So to me, the first thing I asked is, what about NXT? Because they got so much overhaul to do as far as producing the talent, incoming talent, talent that's already there that was already frustrated, so on and so forth. I think Stephanie is going to be more of a brand ambassador as far as like the culture, right? Because she's talks the talk, she walks the walk, she has the rep, so that helps her big time, right? And she's married to Triple H, so there's not really going to be this thing of like infidelity or craziness that Vince did, right? So
You would
that's where that, and I
you would be
think Khan's going to
surprised.
run more of the stock side.
So, all that being said, no, and this is just speculation, pulling it out of my ass type question. Um, was this a conspiracy theory by Stephanie and Triple H to get Vince out?
Could have, because to me, I'm like, who else would have knew that happened? That happened like 8 years ago. I mean, it felt like 10 years ago, right?
It was in 2019, I want to say.
One was 2 years ago, but then they had a couple that was 10 years ago.
Okay,
Because it wasn't just that one;
it was
it was
four.
three women.
I heard
So
four.
to me, it that could have been a play, bro. That could have been, and you know what's funny because it that seemed like a play because of the fact that when Triple H got hurt, they overhauled his whole baby.
Right.
I couldn't put it. I would not put it past you for them to pull that play. I bet he went to his assistant and said, "Hey, leak this out real quick."
Now, I brought this off there. Is Vince really gone? Or will we, and if he is really gone, will we see him in the future, maybe a year or two down the road, Scooter?
Honestly, if we see anything, it's going to be because of it's going to be the Mr. McMahon character, not in a board or executive role or anything like that.
So no, not chairman of the board, executive producer of Raw anymore.
Mm,
Emeritus type shit. I know what you're trying to.
yeah.
What say you, Kaliko?
Oh, we've had this talk. I told you if it was 92, maybe 2022. And the problem is, and the reason why, because 2022, there's so much access to information. There's so much because that was just scratch surface. They could go deeper if they wanted to. So that's why I think he's at the paint because all those changes wouldn't have happened if he wasn't gone. If he was really gonna leave, he would have just said, "I'm taking a leave of absence."
All right. But and then that also begs the add-on question: is he in behind the scenes puppet master, or is there no sign? Will there be no signs of Vince
I bet you. To me, it would be idiotic if Stephanie doesn't talk with her father. But I bet you a package deal is he can't be nowhere near that company.
McMahon? Interesting. Scooter.
Because the problem is that family dynamic, and it's kind of like when the WWE to me is the Los Angeles Lakers. They're a family-run business where everything is in-house with family, so it's kind of hard to say he's gone, but he's gone. Quotation marks.
What say you, Scooter?
I I really think this is it. I think we're not going to see Vince controlling anything at this point.
All right. Well, I haven't given all of my opinion, but my opinion is I think he's gone for now. I don't think he's going to be gone forever. When has anybody in pro wrestling ever been gone forever? This career as in pro wrestling is a pulp job. You do it until you die, and nobody has emulated that more than Vince McMahon. Huh, quite literally, and for him just to up and retire and give up essentially his life. Vin- WWE has been his life for what, the past 50 years? And just then up and leave it all? No. We will hear from Vince
To,
McMahon again.
to play devil's advocate, you know what else? Other CEO that put his life into everything and he had to push it out the paint? Papa John CEO. So it's more than relevant because it's not up to him. It's up to the board.
And this is breaking news. You are hearing it right here, right now, for the first time. Vince McMahon is all elite. That's right, Vince McMahon has gone to AEW.
Yes, he's been checked into the All Elite Women's Retirement Home. If you
Well,
if you hadn't said the W, that joke would have landed better.
what the Impact Wrestling, the TNA wrestling? I don't fucking know.
Oh, he was already a member of that.
Wait a minute. So is his name Vince McMahon or can't keep it in his pants?
Both.
No, it's gonna be Vince McWoman.
Vince McWoman.
Alright, well, we're already seeing the ripple effects of this decision. It was reported yesterday that Brock Lesnar wasn't going to show or walked out of SmackDown, claiming if Vince isn't here, I'm not here. He did actually appear on SmackDown, as scheduled. What was there any substance to this? Is Brock just a Vince guy? Is he not a Stephanie McMahon guy? Etc. Etc. Scooter.
You know, who knows if this is even true to begin with. And by the way, Vince's retirement is making the rounds on all the major news outlets.
Of course.
The idea I was operating on that this was true was Brock dealt with Vince directly and knew, like I believe everybody else knew, that that essentially Stephanie McMahon and Nick Khan, who are now both co-CEOs, aren't really that high on limited appearance talent.
I mean, Brock
Yeah.
Lesnar is a box office attraction. Any which way you see it, he does sell tickets.
Does he though?
I mean,
Yeah. Yeah, the highlight of SummerSlam last year was Brock bringing his ass out in the fucking arena.
and that wasn't seeing him for what, 2 years at that point? At least a year and a half.
Yeah, give or take.
Yeah. I mean, because we all thought he was done.
He thought he was done as well.
Weird. It's weird. Because Vince would cut the check. See, that's the difference. Like, Vince knew how, as much as everybody give him shit, he knew how to play Brock like an ace in a hole, homie. Because when shit went down, he would pull that ace in the hole.
Does this mean Brock Lesnar, because this SummerSlam match, originally was supposed to be Randy Orton and Roman, and obviously Randy got injured, and Brock was essentially the break glass in case of. If something happens like that again, will Brock Lesnar be there as the break glass in case of, or are they kind of out on their? They have to do something different.
I think they're going to do something different. You know what's the first? Who else I thought about when Vince left? Austin Theory.
It's true.
Because remember, that guy benefited the most in that time. So now he's the Money in the Bank winner. Does that mean he gets the successful cash in or not?
He never was fully gone.
I'm just saying, bro. Especially at this point, because we know that Roman's taking time out. For real, for real, for real. Yeah, okay, we got that. So it's not out of the realm. It wasn't out of the realm with Vince there, but now since he's gone, it's really in the air.
I feel like anything involving Roman is way too long term at this point to stop it, and especially for somebody like Austin Theory.
Well, the thing is that Theory got the heat that he got because he aligned himself with McMahon. So the question is this a new Authority 2.0 or 8.0 at this point? I feel like, but it begs to ask that question because the whole point of Theory even being propelled that high was because of them, right?
Hmm. Right. I don't know. What say you, Swiddle?
I mean, I think Theory falls to the wayside after this.
Now, is that maybe in part to how Triple H perceived him in NXT, and how Vince McMahon was trying to perceive him on Raw?
Well, the thing with Theory, he was an interesting case because he was the first person to get signed to NXT and then go straight to the Raw roster, and that was by attrition, right? And then he went back to NXT, did pretty good with Gargano, went to the main roster, and now he's, reality or not, he could possibly be the next world heavyweight champion.
Potentially.
So it's like every time Theory kind of gets in there, he's in this weird dichotomy, right? Like he's literally the anomaly of WWE.
Do you think we're going? Obviously, Brock Lesnar, maybe not, but do you think we're going to see any ripple effects from any other wrestlers that maybe were a Vince McMahon guy, so to speak?
Who else is left that's a Vince guy? And
Or maybe
Scooter can
Vince
answer
Russo?
that one. No, I'm talking about, well, backstage, Ivy, but I'm talking about, backstage, yeah, it'd probably be some overhaul, but roster-wise, who else is there? Scooter? Who else is left there?
As a Vince McMahon protege, no one. Honestly, God,
Michael P.S. Hayes?
Maybe Omos.
Interesting. Do we see a little bit more of Tommaso Ciampa on Raw?
Oh, you're going to see more Gabriel Stevenson.
I think that was going to happen either way. But we shall see with everything that's happening in pro wrestling and the craziness. From one retirement to another. Ric Flairs' last opponent are announced. It's going to be a tag team match between Ric Flair and Andrade versus Jeff Jarrett and Jay Lethal. And I'm asking myself, does Jay Lethal get a full tank of gas during this match, considering he's in there with so many fossils? Scooter.
Well, I mean, Jay Lethal could potentially solve the gas crisis in the country in just this one match.
He would be a hero to all of the United States. Continue.
I mean, okay, I understand teaming with Andrade. I even understand putting Jay Lethal in the match.
What?
But why Jeff Jarrett?
That was the first thing I thought. Because I was really was hoping Steamboat would gracefully bring his ass out.
That's a good question. And
I
especially
mean,
with him at SummerSlam, he's going to be the special guest referee.
yeah, and given the fact that he was actually on the Smackdown last night. I guess because Starcast is in Nashville, and
Of course.
I'm surprised it's not. I'm surprised it's not. Well, because we're not in Memphis. It's not Memphis. It's Nashville. I was to say why. I would be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if they decided to actually get Jerry Lawler into this. Two guys with heart conditions.
Please don't, because if Jeff Jarrett and Jerry Lawler gets in it, that means the Moondogs are not too far behind.
I mean,
Well, then Dolph Ziggler would have to be in the match. Oh, how did I miss this? Rey Mysterio. And you know why Rey Mysterio?
Yes, Rey Mysterio kills motherfuckers.
He sort of fucked us.
Hey, hey man, don't do that, man. Hey, you know what? Being a Dago, I'm pending for Ray. Viva la raza, Ray.
suddenly killed somebody in the middle of the ring.
Wasn't his fault.
It wasn't his fault. The
I'm
6-1
sure.
death.
How many people do you expect to drop kick in the back of the neck and then be like, "Oh, they died"?
Hey man, San Diego got a Ray Day. I can't let y'all put disrespect on his name like that.
You know, we always speculate, oh, who is it gonna be? What is gonna be the last match? And it seems like every time we get the answer, it's more or less, huh, really? Why do you think that is?
Because it's Ric Flair, and he wouldn't have it any other way. But then again, I did see a skit of Ric Flair bleeding in the parking lot. So I mean, I'm just saying, like, he can still play dead, so he good.
I mean, with all the beta blockers he's on, and you know, like the last thing Ric Flair should be doing is bleeding.
Right.
I know, right? That's why I'm like, man, don't get that dude some ibuprofen. That's just
like with all the blood thinners, and this is.
It does beg the question, is the match gonna be good? Scooter.
Oh, absolutely not.
Can we
It,
call
it,
it
it,
a
it,
it's gonna
it,
be
it,
shit.
it will be good for 5 minutes.
well, if it only stays at 5 minutes, then that's a good thing, right?
It's not gonna stay at 5 minutes. I swear that's gonna be a 30-minute match. With
Oh
Ric
god.
Flair taking as many bumps as he possibly can, and I bet you 90% of them are going to be with Jay Lethal.
Yes.
So let's send that to Vegas. Over under how many bumps Ric Flair takes with Jay Lethal.
The over under is on how many people are gonna pass out from Flair sucking up all the oxygen.
I mean, he should. It's his last match, Bella the Ball. Although, even though that's his last match, everybody knows his last match was with Shawn Michaels. Let's just stop that. Stop the bullshit. Let's just stop the bullshit.
It was his
I
last
mean,
match in WWE.
No, that's the last match, period.
It's the last match we should remember Ric Flair for.
No shit.
as nobody thought that maybe Ric Flair is going to Randy the Ram this.
What does that mean?
Mickey Rourke in the wrestler.
Oh no.
Oh no.
No.
I mean, yes,
No.
we don't get a definitive ending to the movie, but the implication is that he dies in the ring.
Kind of like The Sopranos, the last episode of The Sopranos type shit.
I mean, if Bruce Springsteen, plays into the ring,
Shit.
somebody fucking stop him.
Oh god, help us. We going to hell. We're all going to hell. Well, Scooter's going to hell. I ain't going to hell. Oh god.
Alright, Ring of Honor is doing a show, tomorrow actually. It doesn't really
Yep.
seem like Ring of Honor is newsworthy at this point. Um, and it does beg the question, why haven't we seen the Briscoes in AEW when they are clearly contracted to Ring of Honor?
Because they just re-signed with Ring of Honor.
But I mean, it would have
Well,
made sense for them to be in
well,
AEW, considering that they're already aligned with
Well,
Ring of Honor.
here's the thing. I believe the Briscoes have gone on record saying they don't actually want to compete in AEW.
Uh, Because it's live. That would make sense.
I mean, maybe they don't have enough teeth to get in. Maybe people will be like, "Oh, wait, it's Jack and Jerry! Run, zombies!"
They're not dead.
Yes, but the fact that they've been able to, for the last 20 years, call themselves the Briscoes. You know, and the one thing about the Briscoes is that they want to be that big fish in the small pond.
You might not
Uh,
be wrong about that.
I mean, otherwise they would have attempted. You know, the Briscoes could have been a Dudley Boys esque tag team if they had decided to sign with WWE when they had the chance, learn to be a better tag team, and not rely on blading and table spots and everything else.
Hmm. What say you, Calico?
My thing, I think the Briscoes are just loyal to a fault. To me, they're loyal to a fault because when you think of ROH, all the stars that got there went and did something except them. So to me, I think they're just loyal to a fault. I mean, it could be. I think it also could be part of what Scooter is saying because I think it's complacency. Sometimes you're happy where you are, you don't want to go nowhere, right? And sometimes that happiness it means a lot more than most. So they were happy in ROH. So why wouldn't they stay in ROH?
And now they're happy in Impact as well.
So to me, it's familiarity than anything.
Um, now, we don't always talk about NXT, but when we do, you know it's interesting. Um, Cora Jade drew the Women's Tag Team title in a trash can. She is currently one half of the tag team champions with Roxanne. But she claimed that they mean nothing now and then threw them in the trash. Scooter, your thoughts on the Alundra Blaze Medusa gimmick there, and are we going to see the NXT Women's Tag Team Championships again, or is this just like a scrubbage of remnant of the Sasha Naomi thing?
Um, this is. Honestly, it's utter it's utter crap. I mean, why have Cora Jade turn heel? Why take the belts off Toxic Attraction in the first place? Just like, you know, if they wanted to get rid of the NXT Women's Tag Team titles, there were better ways to do it. You know, it ends up being a setback. You know, people people have wondered for years why there isn't a secondary women's singles championship
Yes.
in WWE.
The Fox and the USA title.
I mean, it's just ridiculous at this point. Plus, make sure your skateboard stays together, before you use it.
What say you, Kaliko?
Man, part of me agrees with Scooter in the sense that it's kind of dumbfounded how they treat the women's division. Because to me, it's like it, to me, the WWE when it comes to women, it's like there's that one main bitch, and then there's everyone else, right?
Right.
And that's not gonna fly when you got a roster, and you could say WWE everything included. That includes like a Bailey, a Charlotte, a Becky, a Ronda, a Natalia. You know what I'm saying? So it's too many icons to kind of like lay to the wayside. So to me, if they had to just did like built everything just like the men to have like a main title for them to go for, a secondary title, and then a tag title, then it would work. But the problem is with the tag titles, they don't build tag teams.
No.
And that's the ultimate problem because usually when a woman is going through wrestling school, there's not a lot of women. So usually they're used to being in the singles mindset, right?
Right.
So that's where my problem is. If I were WWE and NXT, I would make it a priority to build women's tag teams rather than taking two people who are to complete opposites and doing this whole odd couple bullshit.
I mean, it works sometimes, but really,
It
every
works
women.
when it works when it works when it matters. It
Right.
doesn't. Other than that, it don't work.
Yes.
Like
Definitely works.
prime example, they and I can make an example. They had one, but they let one got pregnant and the other one got let go. The Riot Squad was literally like a unit. You could make an argument they were like the female New Day,
Uh,
except they just did not in the sense of gimmick and wittiness and on the mic, but in the sense of cohesiveness.
okay. Fair enough.
So like the way that they operated as a unit was on par with New Day, but they broke them all up.
Right.
That would have been. Now think of that. Now think of that. Think of Liv Morgan with the title after a cash in with Ruby Riot and the other lady Sarah Logan
Sarah
as
Logan.
tag champ. That would have been crazy.
Right. Unfortunately, you know, it's like you said. Odd couples work when it does, but just throwing two girls together and trying to make it work doesn't always work when it's against another odd couple, and that's just kind of it. But if there are no women's tag team titles in NXT, what does Gigi do? And yes, we make that joke all the fucking time. But no, legitimately, what does Gigi and JC do? Because, you know, if you compare what Toxic Attraction is to what's on the main roster, the Usos and Roman, it gave Gigi and JC a little bit of legitimacy that following Mandy made them something. But now they're just Kurt Hawkins and Zack Ryder to Edge. Am I wrong on this, Scooter?
Well, clearly, she'll get some shoes. But no, you were not wrong.
What say you, Kalika?
The only way I can see this saving face is that if, let's say, JC and Gigi want the rematch, and Roxanne has to do it by herself because Cora Jade had to because she threw the belt in the trash. So that in a case would salvage Toxic Attraction while continuing the storyline of Cora Jade. Does that make sense?
It does,
Like
but if they get the titles out of the trash.
the thing is, wait a minute, did Roxanne keep hers?
Did she?
Because that's the thing. If Roxanne kept hers, in essence, you could make it seem like a 201 handicap match in the sense of it's a tag match with the person who doesn't even care about the title as the other partner. Therefore, bringing that title back to existence to possibly merge with the women's tag titles to make it like a all three brand cross promotion title. That's the only way they could save that belt.
Perez is still one half of the NXT Women's Tag Team Champions.
So therefore, they could ask for the rematch, but only one person is representing the tag titles because Cora Jade chooses not to defend it because it doesn't matter. Therefore, Toxic Attraction already has the heat. They even get more heat for easily winning the rematch, and it helps the tag division. And they could probably figure out, because to me, this is all about buying time to try to actually establish women's tag team. If they prefer to go that route,
I think it's more of a.
it's a pipe dream.
I think it's more of a buy time until EO comes back.
What I hear is EO is not going to be signed.
Yeah, isn't the rumor EO's damn near done? Because their contract's up.
I think they're done.
Supposedly.
But done with NXT.
Yeah.
We shall see. Somebody that maybe should be done, maybe not. Brandy Rhodes is training to get back in the ring. Obviously, this is not going to be with WWE. But does having her own singles run not being besides Cody Rhodes actually help her if she does get in the ring again, Scooter? Kind of carving out her own path.
Yes. And God. I mean, people are gonna wonder, wait, why is she just, gonna let, WWE, put her on? It's a weird situation to me.
What say you, Kalika?
You know me, wait and see. We'll debate. We'll put that bridge when we have to cross it.
Fair enough. And the bridge we cross at this moment, a quick word from our sponsors.
Rogue Energy, the only gaming drink company in the world with 4 unique product lines to suit your task at hand, whether it be juices, shakes, smoothies, and everything else in between. Their low calorie, no sugar energy formula is the perfect alternative to sugar filled canned energy drinks and sodas. Their extreme formula provides the most energy, focus, and sports performance possible. Their hydration line offers focus, ingredients without the added caffeine. Drink it anytime you're thirsty. And their shake formula is so delicious. Who doesn't love a cookies and cream, 0 calorie energy milkshake? First and foremost, they've designed every Rogue product line with performance and effectiveness in mind. It is critical that you look at the nutrition panels of drinks when comparing options. There are countless off brands out there that are presenting low quality, poorly dosed formulas that amount to expensive caffeine water. Every formula they produce is designed with optimal levels of high quality ingredients. Additionally, you won't find a powdered gaming drink brand that dissolves better. No need to have chalky textures in your drink. Their taste profiles are unmatched, specifically designed for gamers, athletes, students, entrepreneurs, people with hectic schedules, individuals with low energy, podcasters who can't shut up, people who are health conscious, and so much more. Great as both a pre-workout and as a coffee energy drink replacement. Specifically designed every Rogue product line to be the best gaming drink on the planet. Rogue Energy, more focus, more win.
Use promo code WRESTLINGWITHE for 10% off your next purchase. And we are wrestling with the G1 Climax 32 preview and review. It started 2 weeks last week, and a lot of brackets have already been busted. So let's start with the review of the matches that's already happened. We got night one, which was the 16th of July. Aaron Henare defeated Hiroshi Tanahashi in C block action. Henare is at one win, 2 points. Tanahashi's at one loss, 0 points. I'm the only one that actually called this match. Um, but are you saying it's a shock, Felico?
You can say that, but I mean, you called it. You called it. He starts out slow. He did that to Zack Sabre Jr. He did that to a couple other cats. So it's not surprising. It's a big win for Hanare, and I guess it kind of makes him seem like a formidable opponent in the C block. But I mean, yeah, he got the win. But do you really think that anything else is going to come from that?
Right. But I mean, it's a win against a credible an opponent.
It's a win against a motherfucker who really doesn't. I mean, it's Tanahashi. Like, no one gives a fuck. Like you win some, you lose some, play the game.
Scooter, any comments?
No, not really.
We got D block action. Will Ospreay defeated El Phantasmo. Will Ospreay's at one win, 2 points. Tasmo's at one loss, 0 points. The match was 15 minutes and 6 seconds, hidden with and ended with a hidden blow. No surprise there, right?
Nope, not at all. Osprey continues.
All right. We got B block action. Sonata lost to Jay White in 18 minutes and 7 seconds with a Blade Runner. Sonata's at 0 wins, 1 loss. Jay White's at 1 win, 2 points. Um, is this a good sign for Sonata, Kaliko?
It gives me hope that he's gonna win the fucking block. Because to me, I told you if he won, he wasn't gonna win the block.
Yes.
Because there's no way they're gonna give him. They're not gonna. They're not gonna go. Okay, you win against Jay White and win the block. So he would have to lose in order to win the block.
Is this a good sign for Sonata, Scooter?
Possibly. God, I don't know. I honestly don't know.
Alright. Then we have Kazuchika. We got A block. Kazuchika Okada defeating Jeff Cobb in 21 minutes and 30 seconds with a Rainmaker. Okada's with a win, 0 losses, 2 points. Jeff Cobb's at 1 loss, 0 points. What do we call him, Kaliko?
O'Connell's, baby. I told your ass. I don't know what you were thinking. Like, shit, Okada literally is New Japan. What the fuck were you thinking, James? James? James?
Alright. Um, we're on to the 17th action, if my notes will load. Um, and they are not. So,
I've got them up here. You want to go right from just the block matches
block
or the
matches.
entire thing?
Block matches.
Okay. B block. Tai Chi defeated Tomohiro Ishii 15 minutes 21 seconds by pinfall.
Now, I feel like Taichi always at least gets one, and Ishii's always been one that gets a good amount of energy out of Taichi, to say the least. But what say you, Kaliko?
Pretty much. I mean, but Tai Chi's the guy to kind of uplift because Ishii, he's the hand, but he's not the winner. He's the guy that makes everybody look good.
Right. Right. Next match, as I try to get the day after that.
Toru Yano defeated Jonah by countout in A block in 9 minutes and 1 second.
I called this one as well, I believe. Oh, and we lost Kaliko. Oh, and here he is. Yano always gets those W's. It don't matter who it is, he does. But what say you, Kaliko?
I told you, Yano, man. Yano, he'll sneak a couple, and this is the one. Watch Yano go have like 30 points, and then he'll blow it. Like that's how it always happens.
Next match, Scooter.
C block action. Zack Sabre Jr. defeated Kenta by submission 21 minutes 33 seconds.
Really no soccer. It's always a 50-50 gamble with Jack.
Yep, Zach 50-50. Zach 50-50.
And the last match.
And finally, D block. Juice Robinson defeated Shingo Takagi by pinfall, also in 21 minutes and 33 seconds.
And it just seems like Juice is on the path that I had him on at the beginning of this tournament, and that's to win D block. What did you click on?
I think we all had Juice because Juice is that hot guy of the moment right now. Like he's in that Kenta role where Kenta was hot, except they didn't pull the trigger with Kenta, and they have to pull the trigger with a Gaijin to
Right.
be to be the evil guy. So if anybody, it would be Juice.
Alright. That's it for the 17th, I believe. So we are on
Mm-hmm.
to the 20th, and I do have the matches. We're starting with D block. David Finley lost to Yujiro Takahashi in 12 minutes 59 seconds. Big juice. Um, Finley's at 1 loss, 0 points. Yujiro's at 1 win, 2 points. Finley's only there to get 1 win in this tournament, right?
Yeah, basically.
Yep, pretty much. That's the only. You know what? But the one win he's gonna get is gonna matter so goddamn much.
Yes. Right. B block tournament match. Tamatanga defeated Chase Owens. Tama's at 2 points, 1 win. Chase Owens, 0 wins, 0 points. Um, Tama might be in a good position to show something. It certainly showed that he was kind of man on a mission. Maybe not win the block, but can he actually make a dent in this tournament, Felica?
He can because he's a good singles wrestler, and the fact that he was in it a couple years ago, it gave him that time to shine. So when his brother was out and he was in the blocks, it showed that he's capable. So he's capable. If it was a 2 block system, no way. But 4 blocks, yeah, he could win it.
What say you, Scooter?
Mm. Yeah, he probably will probably surprise us all, quite honestly.
And, we'll obviously get there when we get there, but I do feel like Tama is going to be the one that breaks Jay White's tournament with a W over him. That will prompt Sonata to win the whole shebang. Just my thoughts.
Well, the issue with that is Jay White would have to lose 2. Because even with Jay White losing 1, he holds the tiebreaker over Sonata.
But if yes, and one of those matches might have been um tonight. Yeah, tonight. Well, yesterday technically. Against Tomohiro Ishii, who he's always had an issue with. And if Sonata beats Tama, then the he has the tiebreaker over Sonata, and Jay White doesn't have. I have no idea what I'm saying.
The thing is that Jay White has to lose 2 so the head to head won't be over Sonata's head.
Right,
So if you're thinking he's going to lose to Ishii, the other person would have to be Tama Tonga.
right. It does. Alright, now we have, A block. Lance Archer lost to Batlock Fale in 10 minutes 46 seconds by countout. Archer's at 0 wins, 0 points. Fale is at 1 win, 2 points. Maybe a little bit of an upset here. No, Scooter?
Yeah, I definitely say so.
What say you, Lito? Because I don't think either of these guys are going to be too much of a issue in going forward.
Well, I felt like Fowler should have won it like 10 years, like 8 years ago, but it's a good resurgence because it's giving him the chance that the front runner role, and now it's just a matter of how he's going to respond from there, right?
Yeah. Probably the shocker of the tournament. We have 2 block action. Hiroki Goto defeated Tatsuya Naito in 14 minutes 41 seconds with a huge win. Goto's at 1 win, 0 losses, 2 points. Tatsuya Naito's at 1 loss, 0 points. What the fuck, Kalika? Because I think we all had Naito when he was up.
I think so, but I wouldn't have been surprised if Naito was like fuck it mode. Because like I told you, it depends on what mode Naito's in. If he's in fucking mode, it ain't happening. But if he's in like, if he's really engaged, then he would get it, right?
Right.
So, is he going to be in the same way as Tanahashi, where they kind of got to fight from behind and and try to make a run at it. It could possibly happen because Naito is the guy that could do it. He's the guy that can put a run together when it matters.
And I think you can make the argument that they're putting, certain things into play. So if Sonata does actually win B block, we don't have Naito winning C block because we're not going to have two LIJ guys in the semifinals. No.
I don't think so, but I also don't see Jay White winning the block because the problem is that if Juice is winning block D as the Gaijin,
Right.
that means Jay White cannot win his block. So right, so that means you won't have two Bullet Clubs and you won't have two LIJ. So the sacrifice in this case would be Sonata for sacrifice Naito for Sonata and Jay White for Juice.
Right. And I mean, it's not really even sacrificing Jay White because he's the champion. And I mean, Osprey's in deep lock, but he's also the champion. So, I mean, it's not a major sacrifice. But the one that's, a little disappointing is Shingo because he's in deep lock as well. And it seems like he's just going to fall to the wayside this year.
But he was in that odd spot last year as the COVID champion, so yeah.
Alright, that will conclude the review portion. And now we're previewing. We got from the July 24th action, we got D Block, El Phantasmo versus Yujiro Takahashi. Who wins, Kalita?
Phantasmo, because Tokyo Pimp got his shit.
What say you, Scooter?
Phantasmo.
I mean, all signs point to that, but I mean, Yujiro is the heavyweight, and I feel like they might want to.
Is he? Is he?
It's a junior heavyweight, so this could kind of become his.
But is Yujiro really a heavyweight? Really?
I mean, he's more of a heavyweight than Tasmo at this point. ELP.
I mean, he's more of a heavyweight than Yoshihashi, but
Yujiro. I'll take it, Yujiro. Alright, B block action. Sonata versus Taichi, who wins? Kalika.
Sonata he needs to bounce back. Sonata.
Scooter?
Same Sonata.
I agree. Alright, A block tournament action. Jeff Cobb versus Bad Luck Fale. Who wins? Kalika.
Fale.
Really?
Like I just said, he's going to be the front runner for a little bit. He's going to be the pacemaker. Then he'll fall back. Fale.
What say you, Scooter?
I'm gonna say this is gonna be one of Cobb's only wins.
Interesting. I kind of feel like it has to be. Well, it doesn't have to be Cobb. But I think Cobb. And then we have running with C block action. Tanahashi versus Tetsuya Naito. Who wins? Kalika.
This is kind of like the loser loses bracket, so it would have to be Tanahashi because Naito cannot win the block.
I'm just trying to remember who else is in C block that could give Naito a couple of losses. I mean, there's Kenta and ZSJ. I feel like he would take ZSJ out this time. You know what I mean? Because he's had a couple losses to him already.
True, but it's 50-50 Zack Sabre. So at this point, it's just a matter of how they're going to frame it. Because mm, both of them can make a run to win the block, but this is like the critical part. So I think that's where Tanahashi gets the edge.
What say you, Scooter?
Hmm. Mm. Ooh, this is God. You know what? Tanahashi's probably gonna start out with losses and then take it and then go on a massive run from either his third or fourth match on.
Alright.
But so I'm thinking Naito.
My heart kind of tells me Naito's. So, I gotta go with Naito. Um, alright, we got the 26th of July next. We got B Block tournament action. Great Khan versus Chase Owens. Who wins? Who?
It better not be Chase.
What do you mean? What about say you, Scooter?
Yeah, Great Khan.
Yeah. C Block action. Kenta versus Evo. Delito.
Ooh, evil.
Scooter.
Yeah, evil.
Um. Yeah. Okay. Um. Filthy Tom. A Block. Filthy Tom Lawler versus Lance Archer. Who wins? Kalito.
Archer.
Scooter.
Archer.
Yeah, Archer. And then we got Deep Block tournament action main event. David Finlay versus Juice Robinson. Who wins? Kalito.
If there was ever one,
You done?
this is the one. Finlay.
Scooter.
Mm, I don't think this is the one. Finley wins. Juice.
I feel like there's only one match Finlay's here to win, and it's that one. So I'm going with Finlay. Alright, we got July 27th action. D Block. Will Ospreay versus Yujiro. Who wins, Kalito?
Osprey, unfortunately.
Scooter.
Yeah, Osprey, clearly.
Yeah. A Block. Yujiro, Toru Yano versus Bad Luck Fale. Who wins? Kalito.
Ooh, interesting. By this time, they should be undefeated. So, damn. Fale.
Uh, Scooter.
Yano.
I agree with you, Scooter. I think Giovanna always gets a couple, so yeah. C block. Hiroki Goto versus Aaron Hanare, who wins Felipe.
Goto.
Scooter.
It makes more sense for Hanare than Goto, but you know what? Screw it. I'll say Hanare.
You know, if there was one on Hanare should win, it's this one. So I think, yeah. And then we got B block action. Tomohiro Ishii versus Kamatanga. Who wins, Felipe?
Tonga.
Scooter?
Tonga.
I feel like we're counting Ishii out so soon, but I could see a Kamatanga win, I suppose. Now we're on to July 30th. We got we're starting off with D block action. David Finlay versus Shingo Takagi. Who wins, Felipe?
Wait a minute, what was that match again?
David Finlay versus Shingo Takagi.
Oh, Jesus, Takagi. What the fuck am I talking about?
Scooter.
It's like
Takagi.
Bama versus ITT Tech. Jesus.
Yeah, Shingo. A block action. Tom Lawler versus Giovanna. Who wins, Felipe?
Say that name again?
Jonah versus Tom Lawler.
No. Say the name again.
No, he's not his friend,
You just want me to kill my truck, don't you?
Pretty much, because that's who's going to win anyway, but you might as well make it worth the while, right?
You know, I'm trying to get my voice back. It's not all there yet. Jonah or Lawler? Felipe?
I told you to say it, John.
Oh, okay. Scooter.
Thank you, Scooter.
Um,
Thank you.
so just by that alone, Lawler's by a count out.
At least Scooter understood the assignment, even if he disagreed with me.
Um, uh, is this one Lawler could win? No, I think they have to give Joe this one. So Jonah. B block action. Sonata versus Great Khan. Who wins, Felipe?
Sonata.
Scooter.
Hyundai Elantra, I mean Sonata.
C block. Hiroshi Tanahashi versus Zack Sabre Jr. Who wins, Felipe?
Just be that Zack Sabre Jr. 50-50 shit.
Probably, yeah. So, DSJ.
Yep.
Scooter.
I find this very interesting because after night 8, the rest of the nights have 5 matches, including multiple block matches. And Tanahashi's next match is not until night 11. Which, where I would, oh man, yeah, yeah, Zach, no, this is where Tanahashi makes his run.
Tana is very consistently inconsistent. So CSJ. Okay. So that's all our predictions for this round of G1 action. And that will conclude our episode for tonight. I think we have a lot to cover when it comes to the G1 next week as well. The way things are going. But next week on the show, we're doing something a little bit different. We're coming to you with a special joint episode with the remix on a Friday. Scooter, can you tell us a little bit more about it?
Yes, for the first time in quite a number of years, the remix steps back into what it was like in our early days when we actually live streamed 3 nights a week as the remix and Wrestling With as part of our special SummerSlam Spectacular Festathon. We will be doing a live play-by-play coverage, a premium audio companion experience, if you will, an experience squared,
An
as
audio
James myself could
experience. What? Audio experience.
experience.
Experience, yeah.
Yeah. It's a pacey. As James, myself, possibly Kaliko, if they release him from being a hostage for a few hours,
Yes,
and
I don't die.
and of course the third man from the remix, Ryan does. We will be calling the action of SmackDown the night before SummerSlam. And when that happens, that's the remix. And in between, there's Wrestling With, when we will report on all the news as well. So you get two shows for the price of one. Actually, for the price of none, since y'all don't pay anyway. But, of course, catch the remix on YouTube /Wrestling With Remix. We'll figure out a name eventually, but we're breaking
Oh, I like
kayfabe
that.
here.
No. I like that. Wrestling with the remix. Hey. That sounds so Puff Daddy 90s. Take that.
Be a man.
Well, y'all missed the days where I used to put a W at the beginning of remix.
Oh, gosh, that's like 80s.
But yes, a live 2 hours of action, maybe about 10 minutes worth of news.
And a full
Depending on what happens. Yes, a full preview of SummerSlam, as they call it in Swedlandia. And that all goes down next week, next Friday. We will be live streaming on the new channel Nobody Out Crazy Ophelia as well. Not sure what James is going to do, if he's going to be recording and keep putting it up on Wrestling With channel. Again, stay tuned. It'll definitely be live streamed on the new channel as well, and of course.
Yes.
We'll get to the rest at the end.
Yeah, just it will be live on Friday, and it will be on our YouTube page, Wrestling with Entertainment, the day after at the usual scheduled time of release on Saturday. So if you didn't catch it live, you can catch it on 2 channels. And of course, if you like what we're doing, please like, subscribe, comment, put on YouTube and Castbox. Of course, this is sponsored by Rogue Energy and Pale One Coffee. Join us this Wednesday for an incredible interview with a surprise guest. Follow the show at Wrestling with Eva on Twitter and Instagram. You can follow us individually as well. I'm at JamesJ993. You can follow. Where can we find Kaliko?
Hopefully, if I don't die from getting trampled from this Comic Con fest, you can follow me. I am Kaliko.
And where can we find Scooter?
As always, find me on Twitter at ScooterDust. Find me, James, and Ryan Dust hosting the remix on YouTube, a premium audio companion experience for all your WWE premium live event needs. Of course, next time we come to you is next Friday with our special live Wrestling with the Remix Smackdown event, and of course, a week from tonight, SummerSlam as well. And of course, revel in all my Twitch antics, along with Rico Constantino Jr. and the rest of the Smoking Dragons clan, twitch.tv/Smoking Dragons.
Alright, for Kaliko Yachts and Scooter Dust, I'm James Jane. This has been Wrestling with Entertainment.
Hey guys, this is Brutal Bob Evans from Hangs with Bob Seminars and TheWrestleLife.com, and you are listening to Wrestling with Entertainment, one of my favorite podcasts in the whole wide world.